Master the art of passing with drills inspired by Xabi Alonso, the maestro of tempo and vision. This free ebook gives you 10 detailed training drills to help you or your team improve. One-touch combination play. Short and long passing accuracy. Awareness, positioning, and control. Train smarter, dominate midfield, and pass like a pro. Get your free copy today.
Well, the team are
hey everyone,
here at Tottenham
welcome back to my
Stadium.
channel. I have some exciting news to share with you today. I've just launched 2 brand new YouTube channels. My new YouTube channels are here, Soccer for Coaches and Football Training with Top Coaches. I'd love for you to check out both channels. The links are in the description below and in the first comment, so make sure to subscribe and join our growing community. Your support means the world to me and helps us create even more amazing content. Don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your experiences with the drill, and be sure to check out my other training videos for more tips and drills to take your game to the next level.
At home at an 8 PM kickoff here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 30th of September away at Boda. That's a place we know all about and a good time to play there comparatively to when you could have possibly got drawn to play there. So that one's away. The next game is also away. We're playing against Monaco. What a glamour tie that will be. A real European classic, that one. That feeling of going to play in the south of France. And then we play against Copenhagen at home. As Adam mentioned, there are so many narratives here, not least the fact that we've just played PSG in the Super Cup. A brilliant performance in that. That's on the 26th of November. We play against Slavia Prague as well. On the 9th of December, that one's at home. And then is another home game against Dortmund. Now that one is a brilliant battle, a side that we've got a lot of history playing against in Europe. And then finally we play against Frankfurt at the back end of January away from home. But of course, people will all remember our visit to Frankfurt in the Europa League as well. So really, everywhere you look, there is a narrative throughout every single one of those ties. And it's going to be fascinating to see how that league phase plays out. Now, I'm joined down at pitchside by our club journalist, Marzi. Marzi, how are you, sir? What do you make of that?
Loads of excitement about going to Prague back then. That was great. Yeah, great. So, but look, in terms of, look, we all want to progress, and I think in terms of that mission, I like that, Joel. I mean,
yeah.
I'm looking at all those home games, especially thinking, look, we're good here in Europe at home. We're good here, and I think we can win all those games.
Let's
PSG away is the obvious test.
Let's get out of your way here, so you can see just behind us the team now made a real thing of doing this before every single game, to make sure they have this bit of time in the huddle. It's usually at this point, it's about 30 minutes before kickoff. And what they'll do is they'll just go through their last bits, and all of the coaches will talk, and a couple of players will talk. You would have seen
Arsenal moving on in the summer. Diakite's arrived. He plays at the back as centre-back, arrived from Lille in France. Adrian Truffert is the new left-back for Bournemouth. Loves to get forward. There's a new keeper too, with Kepa moving out and Petrovic coming in from Chelsea. The one to watch for me today is Anton Semenyo. I think he's been very sharp at the start of this season. He's looked really good, not just for the goals that he scored in the first week, against Liverpool, but last week he could so easily, having taken up a number of good positions, scored more. And I think he's really one to watch out for here, Anton Semenyo.
Absolutely right. I mean, Miles, we saw him against Liverpool, as Adam mentioned there. Look, electric at times, so good going forward, but he's a player that works very hard as well.
And look, in terms of when you're an away team, and we've seen it here before, the ability to be able to carry that ball. I mean, Sonny used to do it, didn't he? Used to do it, you pick up the ball deep. The ability just takes everyone up the pitch, takes pressure off, maybe a winner throw or set piece. And that's what Semenyo provides to Bournemouth. I agree with a lot of Adam said, actually. I think tactically it's going to be fascinating. I am also surprised Bournemouth haven't made a couple of changes, only because they've got some big players back. Christie's on the bench, isn't he? Kluivert's on the bench. These are, I mean, that was their starting sort of base of midfield last season, wasn't it? So, but he's put trust in the team that beat Wolves. I spoke to Alexander Scott from the Daily Echo down there, and he's been quite impressed with what he wasn't happy with the performance against Brentford, but he was quite impressed with what he saw at Liverpool. He was quite impressed with what he saw against Wolves. He also picked Semenyo as a man to watch. But I did ask him about the defensive side of it, because they have lost so many players, and he said to me that he feels that like they're one centre back away from almost replacing on that, and his one to watch in terms of the new players was Truffert, the left back.
Yeah. very exciting player. Now, the big news of this week, as every Spurs fan will know, is the signing of Xabi Simons. What an incredible signing that is. Such an exciting, young, dynamic talent that will come in and I'm sure have a wonderful time here in N17. If you are wondering, he is going to be announced today. You'll be able to see all of that live here on the warm-up show. And that is at about 10 to 3. So kick off 3 o'clock today. You can come and see every single part of it with us. So don't worry, we'll be taking every frame of that, every beat of that announcement in front of 62,000 people here in about 15 minutes time. We saw him arrive, he's here with his family, and he seems like a very grounded, humble young guy. Considering the upbringing in football that he's had, that's incredibly impressive.
It's funny actually, because like we got some quotes from Thomas talking about him, and he said like, in the first, lots of experience for someone so young, but he's 22.
Yeah.
So he's got room to build, room to develop as well, and he seems to. He's one of those players, Ben. He's like been around for years, right?
He's 22. I'm trying to remember, like, you or I would have seen him on viral video clips from probably at the age of about 11.
I know.
Which is crazy to think. It's mad. We've been watching this kid play for over a... It's incredible, isn't it? But I think something about Xabi is that he has...
It's even making you feel old, isn't it?
But don't, it's frightening. But it's one of those things where he's a player that looks the part. And so naturally, I think you make an assumption about him that he's going to be someone that is just flair and tricks and skills. But he's combative as well.
And he's very keen to tell you that as well, isn't he? It's almost as if he's almost wary of his own... You know what people talk about him, but the facts are there. I mean, he puts a shift in, doesn't he? Everyone who's ever been involved with him says he works for the team. He said to you this week, team, I want to work for the team. He wants to do the rest of it. Of course he does. He's an attacking flair player, but it's very important that he's got that part to his game, and that must have been a big attraction for Thomas, right?
Yeah, but well, people will have heard Thomas say this at multiple different points during his time as a manager. He said it on podcasts as well, that he delivers this presentation to players. When they're coming to join the club, he delivers a presentation to them and he tells them where he sees them fitting in. And Xabi mentioned to us that after the presentation, that was when he was like, okay, the manager's got a plan for me. And I think a big part of that for Thomas is getting across that everyone is going to have to grind in his system. It is not going to be a case of you get to come in and play like a flair number 10. You come in and you're a part of this and you work for this team.
It's team first, isn't it? And we've had that ever since Thomas walked through the door. We've had that, and we've seen it actually. You don't go and win like we did at Man City last week without that. I mean,
you're looking at Mohamed Kudus there, for example, right? Because if you sort of believe the very, very lazy rumours that you heard about him not working hard, watch that game against Man City and tell me that
late in the game
doesn't work hard.
I'm saying late in before he gets subbed off, he's in the right back position, tracking back. It's the only way it works, honestly. We've got lots of good players in this team, lots of, in inverted commas, flair players. They all work. They all put a shift in. And it starts from the centre forwards with Richie and Dom, and it goes all the way through the team. And, you know, they won't have it any other way. And it's good to see, actually. It gets you a long way.
Certainly does. We're just seeing the subs go through their warm-ups as well. Marzi, I just want to pick your brains on the bench today, because I'm really, really hoping at some point we get to see a few of these lads. We've got such pace, we've got such energy, and it's a really young group as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very young group. And look, it's good to see Mana there, to be fair. I mean, I think it's the first time he's been in a match day squad since, I think it was September 23. And he had the knee injury, and then obviously he was at Leeds last year. So it's good to see him back, see what he can do. Great to see Destiny back as well. I mean, look, Ched's been has absolutely stormed it at left back, hasn't he? But we all know what Destiny's capable of. He's now got a fight in his hands to get back in the team, and that is going to benefit everyone at the club. So I'm all for it. But great to see him back. And these lads, yeah, look, you can tell there's a bond there, can't you? Like the togetherness there. Archie and Lucas, it's only a fortnight ago they started here.
Yeah.
It just shows you the depth we've got. And we've just got to touch wood and keep everyone fit going into this Champions League campaign. And yeah, I'm very hopeful actually.
Yeah, when we look at the fixture list as well, anyone that's watching on and looking on their second screen at the fixtures that are coming up, all of these players are going to get important minutes because there are so many games coming up. If you watch the Carabao Cup draw the other night, you would have seen we're drawing at home in the Carabao Cup as well. So we've got that to factor in. And then on top of that, you've got 8 Champions League games, and then we'll have the FA Cup starting in January as well. It's going to be a lot of games this year.
100%. You've got a factor for, I mean, what was it last season? 60? 60? Yeah, 60. You've got a factor for that, haven't you? I mean, if we're very hopeful that we can progress in the Champions League. So you're looking at 10 games there, aren't you? Hopefully more, but
yeah.
To get into the knockout, 10 games minimum.
You say the minimum of 10 games, yeah, absolutely.
You hope we progress in the League Cup, so that's going to be another 3, 4. Hopefully we get to the final again. And you have to. This is where it becomes fascinating for me. How Thomas and the coaching staff, and we saw it with Ange last year. How you plan it? Do you go 2 weeks ahead? Do you go a month ahead?
Well, I did ask.
Do you go
I asked
day
Thomas
to
this
day?
the other day. I asked Thomas this the other day, and he said that right now, because they want to get things right, he's not in a position to plan any further in advance. So they are just doing one game at a time.
And I think, especially Ben, when you've got a week to prepare for a game, that's it.
Yeah.
Full focus. That's it. And I think they'll say we'll deal with the midweek games when they come along. For the time being, they've got this group of 3 games plus PSG 4. And then they've got an international break. So
I also think there's something in there in the fact that Thomas is really, really keen to work with the players on an individual level as well, isn't he? He wants to see players improve. He wants to have that time with the players to make sure that he sees growth and an evolution there as well. We're just watching the final bits of warm-ups here. Players will head in around 5 minutes' time, and we expect that Xabi will be coming out to meet the fans here and walk out of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the first time around 10:02. So stick with us. You'll see all of that here up on.
We just wait for activity near the tunnel, and then we'll know he's there, won't we?
Can't wait for that. And I think he came yesterday. People will have seen the images, but he came yesterday with his family just to have a little walk around. And it never gets old for me seeing players the first time they walk out. You've done that walk with so many players, Marzi, for the first time walking out here.
I do think they.
Takes their breath away.
And look, the first time they walk in here, come on. I mean.
You did it with Gareth Bale, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I mean, that would have been the first time that he walked out here as a Spurs player.
Did it with look, it's a little bit different with Gareth. I mean, I remember standing on the pitch with him over there and just saying, "Here, look at it. He's just been at the Bernabeu for 10 years." You know what I mean? He's just won 97 European Cups. You know what I mean?
Just scored one of the greatest goals of all time to win a European Cup.
But they are. I mean, it's the training ground, Ben. They know they've got to work there every day. You walk into that place. I mean, you know it as well as anyone now. Like that, straight away you're thinking, "Oh, I'll have a piece of this."
Yeah.
And then you come in here, and then you with and then the fans. You go like abroad or somewhere, or your first away games, where like Newcastle or something away, and you look up there, and there's 4,000 Spurs fans, and all of those pieces fall together, and you think, tell you what,
it's a huge opportunity, isn't it?
But anyway, look, Xavi, you've spoken to him this week. Brilliant stuff. But the first thing I asked you was, is he a good lad? And your answer was
straight away. Seems like a lovely kid.
That's the most important thing.
And it's a big part of Thomas's.
Because we know he can play.
Thomas's sort of philosophy, isn't it? Is that he wants the right types of people as well. And he felt like incredibly polite and seemed really, really engaged and switched on. And look, most importantly, seemed very happy to be here. Seemed really, really excited by the project, which is brilliant. We're just watching the team go through their final bits of set piece preparation. possession. I really, really enjoy this, Malsey, because you always get a little look now at what is going to be the sort of theme or what's going to be the angle that they go for. The thing that's caught me over the last few weeks is they seem to really enjoy that ball to the back post, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's been that sort of long switch free kick or the slightly longer corners where they're targeting the back post.
Lots of movement in the box as well, isn't there? Have you noticed that on the attacking set plays? Lots of movement. Like the set plays fascinate me, to be honest, especially like when, I say, with Kev's throw. And the long throws coming into into the equation as well. It's I always find this fascinating, this little bit now. What you can almost sense, like the frame of mind they're in, and the heads are on it, and are they talking to each other? Are they just focused on what they're going to do themselves? I find this just like we literally have Matisse Tell. You can see his stub marks here.
I think this bit is so fascinating to me because of how different it is to last year as well. We got so used to seeing the way that the team was going to go about things underhand. It all feels very fresh and very new. And in fact, Adam, let's go up to Adam, our commentator for today. Adam, can you just remind us of those 2 starting 11s for today?
Between the two teams warming up, you've got Bournemouth almost ambling around, and you can see Spurs really going at it with a purpose. But yeah, Spurs unchanged today, and we thought that Thomas Frank might mix things up, but in many ways perhaps this will be a very similar game to the one that we saw against Manchester City, so perhaps no surprise given how brilliant they looked last week that Palhinha, Sarr and Bentancur remain as the midfield three. That was really the big area where we expected some change. And Brennan Johnson continues on the left, Kudus on the right, and Richarlison, who has hit the ground running this season and really seems to have his confidence back, will lead the line for Spurs. And Bournemouth are also unchanged, which again is something we didn't necessarily expect, but they were much better and certainly much more compact and defensive last week against Wolves than they were when they were fairly exposed in the Liverpool game on the opening day. They have had lots of changes at the back, new faces aplenty, Diakite, Truffert and Petrovic, the goalkeeper, but the front six fairly consistent with what we saw from last season. And so there may be some weak spots at the back, but when they're going forwards, they will certainly know what they're doing. There will be a clear plan.
Adam, I feel really bad because just as we've come to you to give that team news, so I imagine you've just had a quick glance at your notes. You will have missed Mohamed Kudus just drift over to the corner. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see.
He's literally just walked over to the corner, popped the ball down on the corner spot, and then clipped it into the top corner from the corner, directly into the far corner. Just absolutely stunning. He is really one to watch today, isn't he? He's been so impressive. And yeah, he will, no doubt, once again get this place on its feet again. He was brilliant in his first home game, Malsey, and one to watch today.
100%, yeah. I mean, we all know, Spurs breakfast fans, we all love this sort of player, don't we? We can go back years. I go all the way back to Ginola and he used to be that sort of player. And if we're putting him in the same, envelope as Ginola, then we've got some chance here, haven't we? He was great first game, and then we saw the other side of his game at City when he's worked his socks off as part of a team unit. But up here, you need days like today. You might just need that player and just shift. I love the way he just shifted against Burnley. Little left foot, got to the byline, goal, and it's just. The aspects of his game are so important into what we want to do as a team. You just need some.